In this video, we will talk about how to calculate the constant of proportionality. So I have two examples for us to work through here. Let's check out this first example. Let's say we have this table of x and y values, and we want to know what is the constant of proportionality for this table. Well, that's calculated as, we usually denote it with a k, and it's calculated as y divided by x. So to find the constant of proportionality, all we have to do is just pick any row in this table and calculate y divided by x. So for example, let's pick this first row right here. We would say k is equal to the y value divided by the x value. So 8 divided by 2. So let's write that. 8 divided by 2. Well, 8 divided by 2 is equal to 4. So the constant of proportionality is 4 for this table. And what we'll find is that no matter which row that we pick, we should get 4 for each row. So for example, let's say we pick this row instead. We would calculate k as the y value, 24, divided by the x value of 6. So 24 divided by 6, that's also equal to 4. So no matter which row you pick in the table, you should get the same value for the constant of proportionality. Now, one thing we'll notice about this equation up here is that if we wanted to, we could solve for y by multiplying both sides of the equation by x. So if we did that, on this right-hand side, these x's would cancel out, and we would be left with y is equal to k times x. So let's write that right here. Y is equal to k times x. So once we've found this constant of proportionality, this value of 4, we can plug that in for k right here. So we get y is equal to 4x. So this equation describes the relationship between x and y in this table of values. So for example, if we plug in an x value of, let's say, 5 right here, this equation says that we should get 4 times 5, which is 20 for y. And if we go over to our table, we'll find that if we do plug in an x value of 5, we do indeed get a y value of 20. So the constant of proportionality is 4, and then based on that, here's the equation that we can write to describe the relationship between x and y for this table. All right, let's try one more example. Let's say we're given this table of x and y values, and we want to calculate the constant of proportionality. So remember, all we have to do is just pick any row in the table and calculate y divided by x. So for example, let's say this first row right here. So k, the constant of proportionality, would be calculated as y, 48, divided by x, 4. So let's write that, 48 divided by 4. So 48 divided by 4, that turns out to be 12. So the constant of proportionality is 12. And again, we can pick any row in this table, and we should get the same value for k. So for example, let's say we picked this row down here. We would get k is equal to y divided by x. So 60 divided by 5. And that also turns out to be 12. So the constant of proportionality is 12. And if we want, we can plug it into this equation up here to describe the relationship between x and y. So we could say y is equal to 12x. And again, what we'll find is that we'll be able to plug in a value for x and multiply it by 12 to get the value of y. So for example, if we plug in an x value of, let's say, 8, 8 times 12, that's 96. So y should be equal to 96. And if we go to our table, we'll find that when we do plug in a value of 8 for x, we do get 96 for y. So that's our answer for this one. K is 12, and here is the equation that we can use writing that constant of proportionality.